Yeah, so it's supposed to be me, Elliot Jang, Tim Jun, and then one more, but Tim and Jason both couldn't make it today, so it's just me and Elliot. But our field was the computer science field, and basically what computer science is, it's you combine a lot of different technical skills such as coding or programming or like diving into research about computers and how they work and combining that with like science and other topics. And one of the biggest or some of the biggest majors that we found that related to computer science were software engineering, computer engineering, data science, robotics, electrical engineering, cybersecurity, and computer system analysis. And me personally, one of the biggest things that I think is growing at the fastest rate is probably computer engineering, because at a time where like things like AI and computers are just kind of taking over most of the workforce now, I feel like computer engineering or software engineering is growing to be two of the biggest fields like in the workforce today. And there are a lot of different ways you could major in computer science and combine it with other majors, but three of the biggest ones that we found were computer science with statistics, where you take computer science and different programs that you can either code yourself or take from online, and you use that and match it with a data set. And then what you can do is you can analyze and visualize different like data and analyze like trends and see how like the data is impacted by different factors. And another variation that we found was computer science and math, which is, kind of intuitive, where you think computers and math is kind of always related because you need to code and all that. But computers make doing math like a lot easier because they're so much quicker and they can do advanced calculations that like a lot of humans can't do. So when you like compare or not compare, but if you combine computers and like difficult math that you want to do, you can use programs and like codes to do that for you. And that's one of the bigger like majors, combined majors that you can do now. And one of the biggest is probably computer science and engineering, where a lot of the a lot of it is based off of CAD, which is like 3D design that you do through different softwares. And it gives you like a visualization of different like products that you're trying to make or buildings you're trying to design. And that's kind of where computer science and engineering is heading towards. And now Elliot will introduce the schools that we found for related majors.
For the top schools, we found that MIT was one of the top, if not the top school relating with computer science. And the acceptance rate is around 4%, and it's very prestigious, and it's constantly making new advancements and completing new research. Stanford University is also a top computer science school, and it's also one of the top schools in the country. And the acceptance rate is around 4% as well. And Georgia Tech is currently one of the leading universities for computer science. And it's ranked around fifth in the nation. And it's not as competitive as MIT or Stanford, but the acceptance rate is still around 14%. Carnegie Mellon is also an extremely competitive school and is also competing with MIT, as it is number one in fields of AI and programming language. It is also top 5 in computer science, and the acceptance rate is around 10%. UC Berkeley is number one worldwide in computer science field. The programs are very intense, and the acceptance rate is around 14%.
Yeah, also, I don't, it doesn't show up on my like screen share for some reason, but Elliot did update the acceptance rate. So it's supposed to show, but I don't know why it doesn't show on mine. Like I tried updating a ton of times, but it didn't work. But anyway, so some of the top jobs that we found that relate to computer science and other related majors was software developer slash engineer. And you create your own computer programs and applications and put them out on like the internet for customers and people to use. And the average salary is around 80,000 to 150,000. And like when you first enter the workforce, by the way, computer science is one of the bigger fields where coming straight out of college or like any like work-based camps or things that you do online, computer science is probably one of the fields that'll earn you the most money coming right out of like or entering the workforce right away. And that's why kind of like I feel like computer science is a good choice if you don't not sure what you want to do in the future. But anyway, web developer is the second one that we found. And while it sounds like an easy job, it's honestly not, because there's so much different information that you have to include if you want to like accurately describe the website or like the company you're trying to represent through your website, but it makes about a $50,000 to $100,000 a year. And the third one we found was data scientist, where you look at data and you use computer programs or different like applications to analyze that data and extract information that you can use for the future or trends or anything like that. And that makes about 80,000 to 150,000. And then finally, one of the most interesting ones is probably mobile app developer, where, you know, obviously you create apps that you can use on your phone, and that makes about 60 to 120,000. And although like most people think going to college and getting a degree is the most important thing, for computer science, certifications that you can get like while not going to college are arguably more important, because like the certifications, when you look at them, they're more like application based instead of just trying to learn the knowledge. Like certifications, like when you get them, you have to take exams and like solve difficult questions, and it gives you more like real life experience rather than just going to college and getting a degree and just learning like what you need to learn. Like if with certifications, you actually like dive into what you're going to be doing in the future instead of just learning. And three of the most important we found was CISCO, which demonstrates a high level competency at data center automation, CompTIA, which provides qualifications in entry level information technology, and finally ISACA, which acknowledges you and your team's expertise in building, implementing, and managing personalized solutions for business. And one final note with the ISACA, it's probably the most common and most useful one, because straight out of completing that one, it's most likely that you earn the most money because it's really prestigious. And yeah, that's our computer science project.
Thank you so much for that.